Is volatility coming? Let's get into it with our daily SPY analysis here. Again, today is Wednesday, January 22nd, 2025. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Come find me on carnivoretrades.com for swing trading alerts, analysis, and live day trading. Anyways, let's get into it today. So, markets today with a nice push, again, up 71 basis points. This is what we call a pain trade, by the way. So you'll remember I said, going back to even Friday, like don't look for much of a pullback here if we're even going to get anything. It's probably going to look more like consolidation. And the reason I said that is you had come off of a massive discrepancy, the widest bull bear spread since 11-2 in sentiment. So people were extremely bearish. And one of the things I pointed out, a month or so ago was, again, a lot of bears right now, or, one of the things that bears were saying was that a lot of bulls are trapped, above 6,100. And that's true. It was true. It's not anymore. Anybody who bought up here is now officially flat or in the money. But there were way more bears trapped, right? Way more people tried to short up the election low. And if you don't believe me, I can just prove it to you. All you got to do is pull up a volume profile. I usually don't use this. I don't really need to, but it helps to visualize sometimes, and you can just see. Look at the volume there, and not to mention, like, look at the volume down here. There's a ton of bears trapped in this tape. And by the way, there's large accounts out there on X and on YouTube that they have hundreds of thousands of subscribers. They've been short since 4,600, and they're telling people to continue to average down on things like Netflix, which is now, was $1,000 stock this morning. But in any case, are we going to get volatility tomorrow? I think there's a chance we could see a little burst tomorrow of volatility. And I know that kind of goes against what I just said about predicting volatility, everybody looking for a pullback. But just from what I'm seeing in the tape and a little bit of cycle stuff going on, I think we could see a burst of it. And I think perhaps there could be a drop to 600 by Friday, seeing that gain a little bit of interest. And some of the dealer tools we use here in the trading room are telling us there's some stickiness at 600 that could get revisited. That said, it wouldn't surprise me if we just gap up above 610 and just have another one of these days, gap above 6100 because of that pain trade. So right now, really the way to play this here is you don't short until the market gives you the signal. What is that signal? Well, members know, and you guys can figure that out on your own or become a member. But the other way to play it would be to just, maybe buy volatility. I don't think where the VIX is going to really go through 14. So I'll give you that right now. I just don't think the VIX is going to go through 14. If that happens, I think it's probably the low. The other thing you do is you just trail longs on the way up until a lower high or a higher low gets taken out, on whatever you trade, the futures or whatever. So for today, if you're just an SPX trader, I would just say, it's the low of the day, 60.75. But yeah, pretty much markets here into a double top. We technically made a new all-time high on SPX. By 1 point, almost exactly 60.9997, and today's high was 60.100 spot 81. Interestingly enough, because of dividends and so on, SPY did not make a new all-time high, so that's still about $2 off. And the futures, as you can see here, are about 50 points off still. So 61.85, and then so 61.30 right there. So about 55 points or so off right now on the ES and Q. I haven't looked at AQ in a while. Into this little trend line too, so maybe we can see some backing and filling there. That said, certain stocks we talked about that were important this week. Nvidia, again, above 140. I said to look for bullishness, and that's what happened. I told you also last Friday to look for Mag 7 to kind of that negative gamma would unclench, and we'd see this open up here. You might say, well, Aaron, what about the Trump bill, Stargate? Well, I didn't know about that. I'm just telling you that dealers we're opening this thing up, and we saw that already yesterday. But in any case, above 140 here, there's a little bit of resistance at 148, but 150 is I think the big level. And then Apple also acting well. We did book some profits in the trading room on this today too. Yeah, nice pattern here. So we had the gap down, retest, nice little surge there, and then it just chopped around all day. Little kind of a, like bull wedge there. And it's trying to peak above that. So it will be interesting to see if we do pull back here. Does Apple just gap up and kind of, right? Because like by the way, I don't think this goes much through 225 right now, unless if it does, then it goes to 230, 235. But you got to take gains on this. We have earnings next week. You don't want to get trapped down here in case they want to try to bounce. Like my kind of theory would be that something like this, they bounce it and then try to flush that 200 into earnings. That's a possibility I've definitely considered. But with Apple, it's interesting because we've been kind of just melting up. Like Amazon, new all-time highs. Meta, right near new all-time highs. Google, just off of all-time highs. Microsoft, huge move today. Netflix, obviously. Look at Oracle. All right, TSM, new all-time highs. And looks like a new all-time closing high is about to print there too. But Apple has not participated. So I'm wondering if Apple maybe gaps higher tomorrow, rallies, everything else pulls back. We'll see. I mean, if nothing else, if Apple rallies tomorrow and nothing pulls back, then yeah, we're gonna really rip, and we probably will gap above 6,100. But lately, they've been doing the market top, kind of in the overnight session, right? They've been kind of doing it on the futures. So if anything, I would look for a top in the morning, and then we kind of dump by the open and kind of maybe gap down. That's if that's going to happen. But just a few ideas there. IWM. Again, 230 still resistance. We told you to go straight there after 225. That's where it is. We got to hold 225 on any sort of back check. I would say like the lowest is 223. Otherwise, I'd be in a little bit of trouble. But TLT, holding up, so that's a positive. Dow here, we talked about 440, and I don't know if I mentioned it here. I did say to members 442 to watch for that. That was a high exactly today. But yeah, nice recovery on the Dow. And again, no problems here on the weekly. Very nice trend line tag. Retest the election low. And this is just basic, simple 101 stuff. This was never anything more than a bull flag on QQQ. It's so very, very strong here. And, you got a dovish president, right? So, and he's obviously pumping things, or trying to. And if that continues, you don't want to fight that. Anyway, SMH here up 2%. Got to the 270 handle finally. We were looking for that for like 2 months, 3 months. It finally got up there. And that did back off a little bit. NVIDIA, obviously, we talked about those levels there. IGV, nice move. Again, Oracle helping out. That's up 2.25. And 106 will be your next big level there on IGV. Transport's also, actually, that was a little bit weaker here. I think UAL, UAL had a bit of a gap and crap. Yeah, UAL had a bit of a gap and crap. So I think that pulled in. I think American reports tomorrow, though. So we'll see how that does. But yeah, still got to get through 16.7 on a weekly close. Anyway, rates here today, they were up, so we did bounce. The 2-year still been in a range, and it's just right at parity with Fed funds. Nothing going on there. 5s, 10s, and 30s bouncing, but they didn't really follow through. So, if we look at a TLT, we hit 88. We talked about that being resistance. It, it came off the lows. Auction was pretty decent. It's got room for a higher low too. I think 86 right now is about the lowest I can see it going at the moment. This is just a short-term level. I still think it can try for 90 though. Again, not in a straight line. You had 2 weeks right here at this level before it broke down, so it may take a little bit of time to get through that. XHB flat, again, went straight up into the 50 MA. That needs to consolidate if it wants to go up. Same thing with VNQ, but good outside move there. So VNQ a little soft today. But again, it's got room for higher lows too. Banks also strong. Again, down today, but coming off the lows. No problems here with XLF. KRE down 1%. Again, came off the lows. These are okay for now. Don't really see any issues with the broker dealers here. It just, what an absolute just monster move here. Does kind of have that like blow off ish type look to it, but again, don't fight this. If the top is close, there will be a long way down on that thing. Anyway, oil here down 36 cents, so not really holding 75 all that great, but We'll see if the 20 MA can catch up and we're still chopping, then it can try to build a base here and move higher. I'll just leave it there. XLE, again, we told you this would be resistance. It's pulling back. That's doing everything it's expected. I don't see any problems here. XOP down 40 cents. OIH down as well. We didn't think it would get through 300, and it is pulling back. Uranium via CCJ up 5. So again, nice retest to 48. We told you it needed to hold, and it did. So higher highs there. That higher highs now. So that's a good sign for bulls. URNM higher high. That's a good sign for bulls. So again, still got, 47, 50, 48. Maybe a little bit of resistance right now, but that is firmed up quite a bit. And there's NJ. 23 is your kind of, I wouldn't say it's a concrete bull bear line, but it's been a pivot point. And then we've got nat gas here. It's holding the 20 MA. This is still holding, right? This is still just holding this 20 moving average. So there's no problems with this. It's still in a bull uptrend. Still very strong there. The dollar did get a dead cat bounce. Held 108. We did slice this trend line pretty good. So this loses 108. You got 107 and then 106.50 next. But no, we'll see if it bounces here. There is room now for a lower high though. So if it comes up here and it hits this and then comes back down, right? There's much ado being made about this BOJ stuff. Maybe that's where the volatility comes in. I don't know. I just follow the charts and follow the DOs. I don't really care about the story. Stories will get you messed up. Gold up 8 points today. Again, higher highs, looks fine. Base case still 3,000, early quarter two. Silver starting to mature a little bit here too. Nice inside bar setting up. And if that gets going, it can, try to work its way back to 33, 33.50. Platinum also up modestly. And palladium with the breakout. So we talked about this pattern. I said I liked this yesterday, and it did get a pop. So I've been back in these two since late last week, and so far it's working out. So patience paying off there. Copper here backing off. You want to see it hold this level here, 425. And then we kind of just took a little bit of a break on crypto, but no problems really. Just an inside day, bull, 1, 2, 3, pullback, pop, and then a pause. So Bitcoin's still hanging in there just fine. I still think another week would do this really good on the weekly. I'd just like to see this creep up to like there. Like if you could get the weekly 20 MA up to like 90K, I think it's, just nice, just hug price, really nice, and then it can go up. Again, if you kind of look at what that's essentially what we did on everything else, right? The spiders here, just retesting the 20 MA after these breakouts, right? So when we catch up to price, there's the cues. When that catches up, usually good things happen. So, but we're pulling back a little bit now. Looks like getting into the end of the day, nothing crazy, but yeah, we could see a little bit of maybe just like a burst tomorrow. I think 600 could get retested. It wouldn't shock me if it doesn't happen too, by the way. Again, these pain trades take a while to work out, but we are up 327 points from peak to trough on SPX. I mean, we hit 6,100 on the dot, 57.73, so that's 327 in 7 days. So it wouldn't surprise me if we have to just retrace a little bit of this here. But anyways, guys, I'll wrap it up here. Again, you guys take care. Don't forget to come find me on carnivoretrades.com. We'll see you guys all tomorrow.